Boom, we are off. Booze Your Daddy back at you again. I'm Dr. Alan Snyder, and today I have a guest boo. I'm going to butcher her name. I know her first name is Oriana, and the last name is DeFeo Peterson.
Yeah.
I said that right?
Yeah, you did. DeFeo Peterson.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever gotten into your last name, but what is the origin of that, just for the listeners?
My mother is Italian. My father is Swedish. So, I don't know, they decided to hyphenate my name.
What's the stereotype for Swedish people? Because you know that they say like Irish people tend to be a little more on the drinkier side, and German people tend to be more stern and angry, and Italian is always like you're a pizza this, so like an Italian Jew is a pizza bagel. Is Swedish like you like Swedish fish, or you're just blonde? Like, what is the Swedish stereotype?
I think they have like the very Nordic look. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what the Swedish stereotype is. I know the Italians like talk with the hands, so like,
Oh my God. Have you ever seen a little kid? I saw a little kid one time. She was like fresh off the boat Italian. She had a meltdown in front of her mother, and she had her hands up like, but with the cutest little voice of like,
was that your Italian speaking?
My Spanish is not horrendous. My Italian is not that great. And they're very similar languages.
They are. In high school, I took Italian and Spanish, Spanish first, and I like to take a second language. But I think I answered the whole Italian final in Spanish, but I got a 70-something. I combined the two.
I mean, in medical school, physical therapy school, we say that you have to keep your head above sea level. So it's kind of the play on, SEA, but also a 70% gets you, the person who graduates last in their medical school, do you know what they call that person? A doctor.
Right.
Yeah, it don't matter. You just got to pass. It's a pass-fail at that point. Nobody's looking at your transcript. So as long as you got that, but you don't speak any other languages, do you?
I could speak Spanish a little bit. I used to be a much better speaker, but I haven't practiced it a lot. So I think I lost a lot of it.
Very nice. Well, I am happy to have you on the show. You are actually one of the first people that I reach out to as a guest because I am so very impressed with your work. And we're going to get into all of that. But I wanted to at least I'm thirsty. So I think we should go ahead and crack our beers because my beer I picked because it kind of goes with the story about you.
Oh.
So I would defer to you. Why don't you tell everybody what you're drinking? Because Booze Your Daddy, BOO''S is also BOOZE. So what's your booze, Oriana?
So I am actually drinking a blue gin. I tried to get a craft beer today, but my day was a little crazy and didn't have the time. So I'm drinking a blue gin. It's from Montreal, I think. My dad actually put me onto this. But it's gin, it's blue. And when you mix it with tonic water, it turns purple.
That is, I like that thunk. Oh, that is so, I joke and I always say my favorite sound in the world is the crack of a beer, but the thunk of opening a cork may have just one up. You one-upped me. You're a one-upper, I guess.
I guess so.
That is good. Now, maybe you don't know this about me. When it comes to drinking and alcohol, I don't discriminate. Like scotch is not my favorite, but all the other stuff. I saw something online actually today, and it was, if you could be stuck on a desert island, which one of these alcohols? My answer is, as long as it's not gin, I'm good to go.
Yeah, that's fine. And I usually don't like gin. If I was stuck on an island, I would probably pick whiskey. But for some reason, this with the tonic actually tastes so smooth, doesn't taste dry. I hate that the dry.
You mean the pine cone flavor of gin? Because when I have gin, I feel like I went outside and went to an evergreen tree and just licked the bark.
Yeah, you get severe cotton mouth where it like literally takes all the moisture out of your mouth and you're like licking the roof of your mouth. Where is I don't know, it's dry. Ugh. Yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna add the tonic and we're gonna change colors. I don't know if you could see it, but now it's more purple.
Oh, that is awesome.
Lighting's a little bad over here, but yeah.
That is magic. Michael, it's an illusion. Yeah. That was amazing. The first magic trick that I've seen. And I am like, magic is not real, but I am still that sucker that will watch it. Like
Me too.
I lived in Vegas for a little bit, which is another story for another day. And back when timeshares were big, I went to do, because if you ever go to a timeshare where they're trying to sell you stuff, you sit there, you listen to the spiel, they tell you all this stuff, and at the end of it, you get like a free buffet and a free ticket to a show. So when I was living out there, I did that more than once just to go see different magicians. Like in Vegas, and every time I got to the end of it, the guy would be like, "All right, so what do I have to do to get you a what do I do to get you a timeshare?" And it's kind of like when you buy a car, which you told me that you have some experience with recently. It's like, what do I got to do to get you in this car? I would look at the guy, put my hand on the shoulder, and be like, "Buddy, I am broke as a joke, and you can keep the buffet ticket. I just want to go see a magician."
that was your price.
I mean, I just didn't want. Have you ever had somebody call you and they're bartering for something and you just be like, I totally respect where you're coming from, but like there's zero chance that it happens. And nowadays there's so many people that they're like, all right, cool. All right, I'll move on to the next person. Thank you for not wasting my time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I usually try not to be rude and listen to people, but then I don't know, I feel a little more bad.
No, this is like when you're dating somebody, guys are better at it than girls, but every girl is like, oh, I don't want to be mean. It's like every day longer you drag that out is another day until you can get to where you're going. So whether it's a sale, a girlfriend, or whatever, I believe be nice about it, but bon voyage, which I think that's a French term, bon voyage. But you said
I'm really international today.
What can I say? I'm a cunning linguist, and you said you're a great audience. I'll just have you on every time just to laugh at my joke. Like you and Joanne are going to be the two best guests we ever have because she is my number one fan. It doesn't matter. Like every time I say Joanne is the best, Julia just goes because she laughs at every single thing you say. I'm like, yeah. Well, what else do I care about?
I mean, maybe because Julie's your girlfriend, it kind of got a little old for her. I don't know if that's how that works, but I appreciate it. And I feel like I could easily crack on you too, which I think I do.
Bring it, babe. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think I called you out in a softball email and called you corny one time.
Corny is like a nice thing, but but you said you got it from Montreal, and in the languages, I always call it Montréal, and that usually gets like parlez-vous français? I'm like, je m'appelle Alain, je suis fromage, and then people who do know French go, I am cheese. What the hell are you saying? I'm like, yeah, I know like 6 words. That's it.
I just know croissant.
Croissant with a CW. All right, well, I'm thirsty. I want to open up my beer. I have this beer that I saw and I had to get. I actually don't even know who makes it. Maybe the thing it's called Toast, and it's an American pale ale brewed with bread. And they say 1/3 of the bread of the U.S. is wasted. I'm excited to try it. So let me release the Kraken. Boom, little explosion. Smells good. Tastes even better. But I got this because I know you from softball, and people can see I'm wearing my old school original purple Power, which I know you've seen. I'll show the camera.
Yes.
So it has Prince in the middle of this kind of hologrammy looking thing, and nobody wears these anymore on our team, and we've even ordered new jerseys, which I think you participate in. And you joined our softball team, and here you come on our team, and you look like the girl from Two Broke Girls. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment.
I get that all the time. I actually got a Halloween costume to dress up as her because I used to get it all the time.
I said it to you. I was like, who do you remind me of? And you go, people say the girl from Two Broke Girls. She was in 40-Year-Old Virgin. I'm like, yes, that's exactly who you look like. So you have deceived so many people with your skills. And I hope you take this as a compliment, but when I play first base and you're playing usually second, I think that's where you are, and you throw somebody out, they are toast. They are my beer because legit, you might have the strongest arm, definitely for a female, but more even for some guys that I've played with back in the day.
Oh, thank you.
So people, if anybody tries to, we don't have stealing bases, but if they're not booking it down the line, they are toast at first base when Oriana is on the field.
I love this. Thank you so much.
Compliments will get you everywhere in the world. But no, I really do mean that. So I got that for you. I wanted to have you on because you have this side business, which I will admit I thought you started during the pandemic, which would not have been a bad thing because everybody right now is making sourdough bread and becoming these amateur cooks and super great. Have fun. I cook, I post pictures, but you legit have this business that's called Oriana's Oven. And by the way, how many people did I tell about this that go, Oriana's Dutch oven? And I immediately said, you think that's original? I'm not even going to say that to her as a joke because I guarantee she has heard that 18 million times. You're not original. Get some new, better stuff. Correct?
I've heard it a few times.
A few more than that. But not only have I had the pleasure of tasting some of your, I think you made a cheesecake one time and we ate it after softball, but your pictures online are straight food porn. I mean, it is impressive. I don't know what camera you're using or what you're doing, but
just the iPhone.
Wow. But it is so good. And you made one the other day. And I think I tagged my friend Lauren, who listens to these episodes, who is Big Mike's wife. She has a huge addiction to s'mores. And you posted this s'mores cheesecake. So I got to find out when her birthday is or something relevant. But I am placing my order right now for the s'mores cheesecake for her because anything with s'mores, it could be s'mores. I was going to say s'mores pizza, but that's a thing. It's just a big thing. But it could be s'mores pasta. Like, she's all in.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I wanted to hear more. Now, I thought you started this recently. I went on your Instagram. Your first Oriana's Oven post was November of 2016.
Yes.
So do it. Go.
I'll take you back.
I'll take you back.
All right. So I used to bake a lot growing up, and I actually wanted to impress a boy one time, and he said, "Can you make me a cheesecake?" I had never made a cheesecake at this point. So I said, "I'll try it." I made it. It came out amazing, but I actually messed up the recipe. I misread the measurements. That was the word I was thinking. I misread the measurements and the ingredients, so I actually messed up the recipe a little bit, but it tasted amazing. So it became a staple at our holiday dinner table. So for Thanksgiving and Christmas each year, I would make this cheesecake. And the funny part is this boy actually has never tried my cheesecake.
This is your current boyfriend that we're talking about, right?
No, this is a high school crush. High school crush.
Did it work? Did it work? Was he impressed?
He never had the cheesecake. I never made it. It never made it to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
The cheesecake that never was.
Yeah, but so I started making cheesecakes more, and I enjoy making people happy through food, making people smile through their stomachs. That's something that I've always enjoyed doing. So when I would go to work, when I would go to school, softball team, I like to bring baked goods. So I would bring the extra cheesecake to my waitressing job at the time. And all of my colleagues were like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. This is the best cheesecake I ever had. This is better than Junior's. This is better than cheesecake. Do you think you could make me one for Thanksgiving? Do you think I could buy one for Christmas?" So with a lot of peer pressure, good peer pressure from my friends and colleagues and their support, I actually started Oriana's Oven. So they started paying me around the holidays just to make cheesecakes, and it started out 10, 20, then it got to like 30, 40 orders for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it was amazing. So it's something, started my LLC in 2016, and it has grown ever since. I've done a food festival, a couple of craft fairs, and yeah, I know you mentioned that you thought I started during quarantine, but actually I think when I started my full-time engineering position, I didn't make time for baking.
So, like, real quick, everybody should know that, yes, she did a magic trick with a blue gin and tonic, and she engineers cheesecake. But what you actually mean, you are legit smart, and you're a real engineer in real life.
Yes, so my degree is in chemical engineering.
So that's how you knew to make that drink. That was just straight chemical engineering?
I guess so. No, my dad showed me the magic trick.
That was pretty cool. But, all right, so do you think, now I don't know where your business is and I don't need hard numbers. do you want to be full-time? Like if Oriana's oven took off, or if you were at Smorgasburg or something, like, is this a thing, or is this just a side you enjoy it for now?
So during quarantine, when you have more time, my passion for baking got reignited. So I started baking 5 to 10 cakes a week. And now I have so much content I could post online, and that's why I started being more active online. And I keep thinking, I don't want to go back to work. How can I make Oriana's oven a full-time thing? So I've always been trying to figure out I've always aspired to open my own bakery. And that is a vision that I see for myself and am working towards. There's actually a location right around the corner. I'm trying to get the money to do that. But yeah, I would love for this to be full-time and be my labor of love.
Good. Well, I hope you definitely get there. And like I said, I have only ever tasted one of your cakes, but it was legit. Just like you said, I mean, everybody toots, oh, I'm better than this. I make better than this. It was probably the best cheesecake I'd ever had. Granted, I just played a whole softball game and maybe I had some beers, but it was so good. I don't remember the flavor. I'm a key lime guy. So for me, that's the way to my heart, is anything key lime. But I love you. I really hope you get there, and I want to start placing orders. And I know people that are listening to this will do so that. And I want to help my friends that are growing, and I want you to get there. You know, it's hard and it's a lot of work. I mean, I have my own business, and it has taken years where I quit a job that I didn't wake up in the middle of the night like, oh my God, I'm going bankrupt tomorrow, and welcome COVID. But even so, I have a lot of confidence, and the more you hustle, I really, really have confidence that you're going to get there.
I really appreciate that, and I feel the same way. I know that if I take the dive and do it, it will be successful. I have that much confidence in myself and in my product and my craft that I think I will make it work. It's just really just getting the numbers right. The finances, it's so much money to start a bakery. So
it is, but it starts off as a side hustle, and then it improves and it goes on. It's funny when you say take the dive. My dad's in real estate, and I went to a real estate convention. With him in, like, I don't know, 2007 or so. So like right before the crash, and everybody there was like, listen, leap and a net will appear. And it's so funny because if you leapt, that net was not there. Or at least the net, you bounced on it and then you went straight down.
Yeah.
Things got really bad. I really appreciate what you said about not getting the measurements correctly, because I have a couple of really good stories. The quick one is one of my buddies he's been married for, God, it's like his bachelor party was 10 years, I think, this year or last year. But he got married to a girl. I'm not going to name names. And it was Thanksgiving potluck, and she couldn't cook, bake anything. And she was responsible for the rolls, I think the story is. And the recipe called for a tablespoon of salt and flour and this and that. And she made them, and she came, and everybody sat down, and they're doing their thing at Thanksgiving, and people took a bite into the rolls, and they were just like oozing out of their mouth like, oh my God, this is terrible. And they're like, hey, Jamie. Oh, wait, I said her name. What happened with these rolls? And she's like, I followed the recipe. It said like 1 cup of salt. And she added, I don't know the quick measurements of 1 tablespoon to a cup, but what's that, like 10 to 20 times more salt than you need in a recipe?
Yeah, it's I think 1/3 cup is 5.5 tablespoons.
Okay, so. Great. So 1/3 cup, so 3. So you're talking about 18 or so. So 17 more, and that is probably one of the best cooking stories. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm actually a very good cook. Now, I'm not a professional, but when it comes, like, look, I'm not making duck à l'orange, but like I can work myself around the kitchen. And when we go away with our friends, I generally do the cooking. I've gotten some, critiques on different things, but I have a couple of signature dishes. Being from Baltimore, I make an amazing crab cake. Let's just say 90% of the time it works 100% of the time. All right.
Is that like what is it from Mean Girls? She's like, it's 70% chance it's already raining.
Exactly. My point. Yeah. People always say so I always say yeah, if I'm making you crab cakes, it's chances are meet me in the club, it's going down. And people have quickly reminded me that if somebody that you're dating comes to your house and you're making them crab cakes, chances are it was going down whether you make crab cakes or order Domino's. Like it really was not going to make a difference. So, but no, I'm a decent cook. But the best story that everybody in my family tells always and all the time, but people who listen to the show don't know it, is one Friday night growing up, we did like a family thing. It wasn't religious. My bubby, my grandmother, made like some soup with some meat in it. And I was in college and didn't make it home that night. And everybody went to her house like every Friday happened. Later that night, the family gets on the horn. They're like, how are you guys doing at your house? And it turned into like, not so good. So-and-so has been in the bathroom all night. They're like, really? Because my husband's been puking all night. And then finally they withered it down that my bubby had gave everybody food poisoning from the meat that she didn't take care of. And like every time we ever talk about her, like, hey, remember that time that she poisoned everybody? And I'm like, remember that time I didn't go to that dinner? I'm like, that was
Oh my
good.
God. So to piggyback off of both of your stories with the the salt and the time that your family did live it down, one of the first times, this is new in my current relationship with my boyfriend, he came over and we made breakfast, and it was like a normal thing, but I wasn't paying attention and I added a little extra salt. I usually put it in my hand to see like what comes out and then put it in with the eggs, but I poured it straight from the container and thinking like I sprinkled a little bit. Let me tell you, it was straight salt with a little bit of eggs. And I think because the relationship was new, he like tried eating it without like
wincing in pain. Yeah.
Which I appreciated so much, but once I took a bite, I was like, ah. To this day, he doesn't let it go. Like, oh, remember the time you made those eggs?
I guess that's true
best
love.
of us.
That's true love when he tried to eat your eggs and it didn't go well, right?
Right. Now we're good. I've never made that mistake again.
Do you remember being younger? I never did this, but I've seen it happen where somebody unscrews something at the table and like puts it down, whether it be like red hot peppers for pizza or salt, and then you kind of pass it around and the person just goes and shakes it and the whole thing comes out. Did you ever do that, or have you ever seen that done?
I've done it, not so much at the table. I have that black pepper can, and I think the lid is a little loose so it doesn't snap all the way, and I went to put pepper on a couple of things. I think I did it on always on my boyfriend's food.
Terrible. You're
always on my boyfriend's food. I think I did it on a Thanksgiving turkey, and literally I turned it and all the pepper came out.
wow. This poor guy, some guys just can't handle their arsenic, right?
I know, I feel so bad. I usually am pretty good, but I think all my fails are with him.
Shit, that's pretty good. So, Oriana, not only are you a friend, not only are you promoting your oven, but you're an avid listener of the show. And when we were talking, I was like, hey, so we'll do some, or maybe before I even asked you, can I do trivia? You were like, oh, do I get to be the quiz master? And I was like,
yes,
let's do it. So,
yes,
because the last couple of times that Stephanie has done trivia for me, she has absolutely roasted me. Like, she gives these questions that if you get two of them, you're doing well. I mean, she's really hard. So I'm excited to see what you're bringing to the table. I turn it over to you. Let's go. Trivia time.
Okay. So I tried to keep it a little simple. It starts easy and gets a little more tricky. But if you were at a bakery and you were buying a baker's dozen, how many is in a baker's dozen?
I'm not an idiot. Keep going. Number 2.
All right. The zest is the peel of what type of fruit?
Okay. I love shandies. I love shandies. Keep going. Number 3.
Sorry.
I feel like you have a list of like 20 things and you just scrolled to the bottom of the harder questions because like, oh shit, he's really good at these.
No, sometimes some were written in my notes and others were in my photos.
Okay.
What fruit puree is often used as a fat substitute in baking?
Fruit puree.
Yes.
Is this a trick question like tomatoes or fruits, or is it going to be like, yeah, dummy, it's a fruit?
No, it's a fruit. I could give you multiple choice if you'd like.
Nah, no, that's a fair question. I have no idea. I'm probably just gonna as a fat in baking. You say?
Yes. Could be used in cooking, but more so baking.
Substitute. Is it a fatty fruit? I'm just being an idiot right now?
I'm not sure if it's a fatty fruit. I just always know that if I need to substitute oil, if I want to reduce the fat, and I would use this as an oil substitute.
Okay, moving on.
True or false? Icing and frosting are the same.
Okay.
The difference between white sugar and brown sugar is an ingredient. I'm going to start that question over. The difference between white sugar and brown sugar is from which ingredient?
The ingredient sugar has ingredients? I thought it was just that. I thought sugar was sugar.
Well, something turns the white sugar into brown sugar.
So what causes the sugar to turn a color?
I guess they have very different tastes though. Like some recipes call for brown sugar, some call for white sugar, granulated sugar. By adding this ingredient to the white sugar, it becomes brown sugar.
All right. All right. You know what? No, go ahead.
I'll give you one last question.
Bonus.
What is a common design style of a pie crust?
Is it just a fucking circle? Like
No, it has a name. Think the top of a pie. The shapes that's on the top of a pie. Not the edges. Inside the middle.
I have no idea. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You know what? I think you did a great job. This was a great trivia. You might have a future in this because I'm willing to bet that my friends, like Geraldine, my friend Geraldine, she bakes a lot. I guarantee you she's going to get all of these and she's going to be like, oh, I can't believe I didn't know this. He's such a dummy.
I actually learned about one of them today. So.
Oh, okay. So you're an expert in this field and you learned about one today. Great. All right. Let's go through the answers.
Okay. So, if you were to order a baker's dozen at a bakery, how many is in a baker's dozen?
I would get 13 of them.
Correct.
Okay. As a Jew who I'm like, do I need 10 bagels? And I'm like, well, if I get 12, I get a free one. Come on. Yeah, 13. Let's go. Check mark.
Okay. The zest of a peel is what type of fruit?
It is a lemon.
Lemon works, but citrus family.
Okay.
You get a lemon, lime, orange is part of the citrus family. I'll give you the point for that.
You'll give me a point. I'm taking a point for that. That's a lemon. Get out of here.
Yeah, well, yes, citrus. Okay. So I think the third question was, what fruit puree is often used as a fat substitute in baking?
I had no idea. I know that mangoes are kind of fatty, but for whatever reason, I just want to say peach, which I think is a terrible answer, but I'm going with peach.
It's actually applesauce.
Fuck. All right. So the correct answer was apple would have been the right answer. All right.
Yes, applesauce. Right. Applesauce specifically. So if you're making brownies or something and the recipe calls for 1/3 cup of oil, you could substitute applesauce and it will not change the taste.
What about wheat brownies? Can you also use applesauce for that?
Because the wheat needs to absorb into the oil, so I'm not really sure about that one.
Oh, I feel like I should get a point back for that. Tell you,
that's a special case. That's a special case.
You're dropping some fake news.
Special brownies.
Okay.
You found a loophole.
There it is.
Okay. What was the true or false? Are icing and frosting the same thing?
every bit of me is like, dummy, they're definitely not. But I'm going with they are the same thing. They just have different names. True.
False.
Fuck.
Frosting and icing are not the same. Icing dries hard, and you could put a plethora of decorations on top of it, including more icing. Frosting is thicker and easier to mold, and frosting usually tastes better.
You know what I like that people give me a lot of grief for? Fondant.
Oh,
Exactly. Exactly. Everybody goes, oh, fondant. I'm like, I think it's delicious.
It's what?
Yeah.
You need your taste buds checked.
I've been told that a lot. Listen, I would gladly go to Olive Garden right now if they would have me.
I hate fondant. I would choose to get a cake with, my favorite is buttercream icing.
Okay.
Anyways,
we weren't taking a poll.
Buttercream frosting. Sorry. Okay. A little rude over there. The difference between white sugar and brown sugar is which ingredient?
I have no idea, but I was leaning towards like the sun or adding some heat to it. I really don't know.
Okay, so white sugar becomes brown sugar with the addition of molasses.
Molasses.
The amount of molasses added will determine if you have light or dark brown sugar. You will also notice a texture difference, and that is because as more molasses is added to the sugar, so is more moisture.
I hate it when it gets moist. Ugh, that's where all my problems come from.
I love it when it gets moist. Anywho, and then the last question, I believe, is what is a common design type of pie crust? I don't know if I said that right, but
I have no idea. Like, because you said not on the top, but in the middle. I was thinking it had like, ridges on the edges, and then I just wrote slice. I had no idea what you're asking.
lattice.
Okay,
So
lettuce. You're saying that wrong. It's lettuce.
No, it's lattice. Lattice. It's the basket weave shape.
Okay, so we're making up words here on our podcast. All right, I see what you're doing.
Up words? I'm gonna look it up. You could Google it.
All right, so I got a couple of right. I mean, I guess I got two. I don't even get a half a point anywhere. I know you like that I fight for half a points, but
Me too. I think it's nice.
I think you did a great job. Thank you so much. That was really cool.
Good. I'm so glad.
You did a great job. Well, before we officially check out, because I know you'll do this, you play softball with me. I'm not going to stand up and turn around, but what does it say on the back of my jersey, real quick?
See, because I listen, I don't know if Stephanie or Boo likes to call you by your chosen nickname. I feel like she diverts from saying your actual name.
Oh, she will call me Duty before she'll ever say Daddy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I caught on.
Damn, I thought I had one. Don't worry. I have some friends that'll definitely call it out. Oriana, I thank you so much for coming on and doing this. I know you were a little nervous, but you killed it. You did a great job. I can't wait to taste some more of your cakes. I hope
Awesome.
we're going to promote this episode. I appreciate everybody that listened to this episode. We put these episodes on YouTube to watch. It's Booze Your Daddy, BOO''S. But we put a lot of the outtakes. We put a lot of stuff on Instagram. You can download the full episode on Stitcher and Spotify and Pandora and iTunes Radio and iHeartRadio and anywhere that people want to watch this. I really appreciate people leaving the reviews, giving you good reviews on your cakes because they are fire looking.
Thank you. And I thought that for anyone listening to this podcast, I have a promotion that it's usually, a rack card, but it's $5 off of your order of $45 or more for new customers.
Or what if they use a promo code? Can I be a promo code? This would be a...
Sure. Booze Your Daddy.
All you have to say Booze Your Daddy sent you, and you get what?
You get $5 off your order of $45 or more.
Oh, so it's the same deal as if you listen to this podcast or not.
All right, I'll give you $10.
I love it. There you go. Well, I will definitely be placing an order.
Awesome.
Oriana, thank you so much. Oriana's Oven is your Instagram?
Correct.
All right. Well, we're going to tag you in everything. Hopefully people go and check you out. Let's blow you up. Boo out.
I'm out.
Boo out.
Thank you so much, Alan. I really enjoyed being a part of this awesome podcast, and I enjoy listening.
Awesome. All right. See ya.